Okay, let's go over some of these teams, right? So I'll tell you what my definition of a pretender and a contender. A contender, to me, is like I wouldn't be shocked if this team ended up in the finals.
So that's my definition, but I went conference finals.
Conference finals?
Me too.
Because if we're just doing finals, there's like 3 contenders and the rest of them are pretenders.
So,
to be honest with you.
well, let's go through it because I think the Cavs are 100% contenders. Like this, I think this is like the first year in a while I've believed because I've watched them a ton this year.
Yeah,
that I'm like
almost like somebody called it before the season.
Yeah, you did call them. You did call them, but we talked about it though. It was my question was about Mobley making that next step, and my God, he has.
It's also Darius Garland playing like the
Garland,
third best point guard in the NBA
Garland,
this year. So
no, Garland. I was never worried about Garland.
No, he took a big step though.
Yeah,
Garland took a huge step.
But those 3 guys, and then you have Jarrett Allen at the center spot, and
they have the best list of role players in the NBA too.
And then when they got Hunter from Atlanta, that team, I feel like could beat anybody but Boston.
They could beat Boston in a 7-game series though.
But like that's the only team that I think, holy shit,
because the most explosive player in that series is Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah.
So like
I won't spend too much. We're not going to spend any time on the Celtics because the Celtics are the Celtics.
They're the best team in the league.
No matter how bad they look in the regular season, I think they're just bored.
Bro, they're still like 40-8.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Like when they look bad, you know what I mean?
They have so many different layers to them. It's just nasty work.
Cleveland is almost just as deep though. Be careful.
Yeah, no, I know.
Yes.
But I've seen
You've seen them do it. I know.
I've seen them do it. This is the one that I feel like everybody goes back and forth with the Knicks.
I went contenders because I don't think they're gonna win an NBA championship. But I'm not shocked if I see New York in the East Conference Finals. I'm not like, oh my God, how did they get there? So they're a contender to me.
You said no.
If I'm not surprised you're a top 4 team by the end of the year, then you're a contender to me. Like, you're not a pretender.
See, you always say, oh, it doesn't matter what happens in the regular season. I completely disagree with what you say because what you do in the regular season can lead to where you are in the playoffs.
Habits.
Yeah, it definitely can. You're right.
They're 0-5. They just got clapped today by the Celtics. They're 0-5 against top tier teams in the league this year. They cannot perform against a good team.
That mainly might be because
maybe I jumped the gun. I still think they're pretty good, but like
they're good.
They're really good.
I know they're good. I know, but like against a really good team, they're a no-show. They're a complete no-show.
That's more so because Jalen Brunson is not a top 10 player, and can't be your second option.
I get
the
that.
team is not that deep.
I get that, but Jalen Brunson can be a top 10 player in this league.
He plays
he
like
plays
that
in
in
spurts
stretches.
like a top 10 player.
Right.
Yeah.
Think
but he's
about
not
what it took
consistently
him.
a top 10
Think
player.
about what it took Jalen Brunson to do last year to get them to where they needed to get to.
Yeah.
He legit had to put a stretch of games like
superhero.
Michael freaking Jordan.
Yeah.
One game out of the Eastern Conference Finals.
You know what I mean? So
Yep.
I struggle with the Knicks. I'm more to the pretender side because of my definition of it.
Yeah.
Can I see them in the Eastern Conference Championship?
Absolutely.
Yes. I don't think they could beat Boston. I don't think they could beat the Cavs.
I don't think they beat Milwaukee, to be honest with you.
Really?
While I'm being so serious, bro.
And that's like
in the
a thing.
playoffs.
Because one, the Jalen Brunson thing.
Yeah.
You know, can he play like that in stretches? Sure, but I absolutely do not trust Cat in the playoffs.
I know, but and like against a team like Milwaukee, where like again it's the top 2 guys. Like Milwaukee's is so much better. Like Dame is better than Ket, and Giannis is
The
well
only
ahead of
difference is
Jalen
the
Brunson,
rest
bro.
of the team is the Knicks. The rest of
The rest of it is, but there's such a gap from those first 2.
I get that
gap, bro.
I get that.
Not a
And
big
it's
gap,
and it's guys like Dame who like we've seen him have big moments in playoffs, and it's guys like Giannis who have won an NBA championship before. It's like it's
Yeah, I'm gonna lean with pretenders on the Knicks
I get it.
because
Depends on your definition.
Yeah,
That's what I'll say.
and you know what? I mean, we just fucking named out a couple teams that to even say for them to get to the Eastern Conference Championship.
But I'm not shocked if they
Yeah.
get there, is what I'm saying.
I don't trust Cat, and that's why I lead on the pretender side. They're really fun. But
Well, also,
fun.
I don't trust Thibodeau either, because some of those guys are going to be hurt by the time they get there.
Yes.
Because like the most underrated player in the NBA, real talk, really might be Josh Hart.
Josh Hart, yeah.
Like if you talk about just straight underrated players, might be Josh Hart.
Yes.
Like this is a guy who like, hey, you should sprinkle some on a triple double some nights.
Yeah.
Wahiyat Allah.
Yeah, oh, yeah, I
Wahiyat
know.
Allah.
Oh, I
So it's
know.
like he's a very underrated player, but like
It was.
I think they're a contender because my definition is if I could see you being a top 4 team by the end of the year, you're a contender to me.
Yeah.
Like you're in the conference finals, you're one game away from
my
a
definition of
championship.
a contender is actually contending against big teams in the playoffs. Doesn't necessarily have to be in the East Conference
I'm
Finals.
cool with that.
Yeah.
Just like,
that makes a lot of
that's
sense.
all
Yeah.
it is.
You know what it was with the Knicks is I was on the other side of this. They kind of tricked everybody, and I'll tell you why. They went and got Cat, really good regular season player, but then they went and traded for Mikal Bridges, and I kept on saying that Mikal Bridges isn't that guy to take him over the hump. Really good, solid player, but that wasn't what was going to take him over the hump against Boston. And now looking at it, not going to take him over the hump.
Not against Boston. No.
And listen, they traded a lot for him.
For Mikal?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still doing that trade though,
Yeah.
if I'm the Knicks.
I
I'm
just
still doing it.
don't know.
8 picks.
I
know-
mean, because they were so close, and it's like, man, if we just get a couple more pieces, and you sign one of the best two-way players in the NBA,
Why? Yeah.
You trade for him.
Because for the amount that they gave up for
because
him,
there's games Mikal this year.
I know,
will go
but-
out on a 25-point
but-
tear
Yes.
when they need him to.
to me, Mikal Bridges is like a super role player. Probably the best role player.
100%.
But they needed something more than that. They need a big swing at the top, man.
Doesn't exist anymore. Kim. You get 2 stars now. This is the NBA. You get 2 stars.
They took their big swing for Cat.
For Cat.
It was the wrong swing.
You get 2 stars now.
Yeah.
You take your pick between 2 stars, and you
When
better
is
build the rest
somebody
of the
going to go
roster.
to New York? When is one of these guys?
Melo.
Well, for what?
Melo was the last one.
Because it's New York.
No, Walla, for what?
I know, but you know what I'm saying? Like, we've been saying it forever. Somebody's
That
gonna
whole
do-
small market, big market shit, that's cooked, bro. That's out the window.
But when you're in a small market, people want to get out of it.
And Giannis is still worth $800 million.
And Giannis wants the fuck out of Milwaukee.
Basketball, what?
Yeah.
Because of basketball,
Yeah,
not because it's a
yeah.
small market.
But let's go. That's the next team that I'm going to talk about,
Yeah.
whether being a pretender or a contender. The Bucks.
Yeah.
You think they're a contender, and I get why you
I
do.
think they're contender because if I see them in the Eastern Conference Finals, I'm not going to be, whoa, how did Giannis and fucking Damian Lillard get there? And like, yeah, you have a top 3 duo in the NBA. Yeah, I'm not shocked when you get to Eastern Conference Finals. I'm not shocked if you're one of the last 4 teams that, regardless of how khara the rest of your
Yeah.
team is, it doesn't matter to me, to be honest with you. But like,
I lead pretender, and I don't disagree with you because that duo is
yeah,
it's shit
elite, bro.
elite. I might need to see more after they added Kuz and see like how that
Yeah.
team, but I don't trust the rest of the team as far as like being able to match up against other teams, and I don't trust Doc Rivers. And also, I don't trust Giannis's health. Now, if he's healthy, different story.
I mean, he's been healthy.
But I mean, my man hasn't been out of the first or second round since he won the championship.
He's
am I
been
right?
hurt.
He's been hurt.
He's been hurt every year in the playoffs.
You know, so
Actual hurt. See, actual
Yeah, Giannis is
hurt.
no.
Literally.
Giannis will never. There'll never be a
He's hurt.
question on
He's
Giannis's
hurt.
competitiveness.
Right.
no, but
100%.
listen, man.
Please.
Listen with the Joel Embiid thing.
I'm not.
That's who you're.
A little bit of it, though. With Joel Embiid, a little bit of it.
Because I've
is
seen that man walk off weeping at the line.
You'd even have him on your list.
But,
Oh, that's because that team is trash.
that weeping that you're talking about is like 6 years ago now.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And number 1 and number 2, like, no, he's right. A little bit of it is like,
yeah.
hey, I don't want to hurt myself, but like, I'll still take the $65 million you're gonna give me.
Would you be shocked?
You know what I mean? And I don't blame him. Get your bag.
yeah,
Well,
true.
like, we do
So
the same thing.
I'm, with the Bucks, I got to see a little bit more.
Definitions. We're playing a game of
Yeah.
definitions.
Exactly,
Right now.
yeah.
Like, if you end up a top 4 team to me, it's hard to say you weren't really a contender. I mean, you were one of the last 4 teams remaining out of 30.
I still see those 3 teams above them.
Me too.
Yeah, I still see.
Cavs, Boston,
I think
Thunder.
they would get their asses whooped.
I don't think Thunder whoop them like that, though. To me.
No, I'm talking about in the East.
Who's the 3?
Cavs and Celtics are the only teams that I'm like, yeah,
I
they
see
whoop
the
them.
Knicks. I think the Knicks could be.
No, the Knicks would be very competitive with. You
think so?
Very competitive, bro.
And the other teams in here, man, the Pistons. They're a fun story. We know those guys are pretenders.
Contender.
Hey, listen, just for the sake of them being in the playoffs, bro.
Yeah, 100%.
The Magic very disappointing this year.
Very
man.
disappointing. Hurt though.
Hurt,
A lot of
but
injuries.
now even with all them guys being healthy,
they
were,
just got
Hey,
healthy, though,
Paolo's a beast,
together.
bro. Paolo's a beast.
But they haven't had those 2 consistently this year.
Yeah.
Franz and
Yeah.
Paolo.
They
It's-
might be
one of
the-
them has always been hurt, and the
Yes.
other one has always been
Yes,
playing.
yes.
Like,
They might be the shocker team in the East if they get healthy at the right
they will.
time.
Yeah, they're gonna cost some.
And the
money.
Heat, the Sixers. Told you guys about that boy Paul George. You guys didn't want to listen to me.
Paul George is the issue in Philadelphia.
It's one of the issues.
No, he's not.
Paul George is one of the
He
issues.
looks like
in
one of the
Philly.
issues. What is he doing out there?
39-year-old Paul George. If you're
Paul
gonna say
George
that,
is the
bro,
issue in Philly.
We're
Don't
calling
do
him
that.
a
Not the
great-
$80 million man Joel Embiid who can't get on the court. That's not the
Don't.
issue.
Paul George is getting paid a lot, and he ain't performing out there. The only person out there worth
Paul
the
George
lick is
also been hurt a
Maxey.
lot.
Paul George is 40.
Also, Paul George is tough, bro, because like
The Clippers made hey, I'm with you.
hey, that man snapped his leg in half, bro.
What's his name, man? Why the hell am I?
Norman Powell.
Norman Powell. Was addition by subtraction.
Norman Powell wishes. This is what we're doing now.
Let's move over to the West.
Leonard, which is
Kawhi is a different story.
Kawhi at his prime was fucking.
Yeah. Wow. Let's move to the West. OKC Contenders.
absolutely.
Yeah.
With no doubt of the question.
Don't even talk about that. Just move
But I'm gonna say something about the OKC Thunder.
on.
Oh, I'm serious. I would not be shocked if they lost in the second round again.
Depends on who they play in the second round.
Because, it doesn't matter whoever they play.
No, it matters because they might play the Lakers.
With the amount of games that they're winning, they should be in the finals.
At this point right now where it's going, they'd play the Lakers.
Bro, it's one game, Eddie.
Well, no,
It
we're
was
not going off
one
one. I'm not
game
going off one game with them.
bro. Calm
Well,
down.
No. What up? I'm talking about OKC.
Oh, I thought you
It's-
were talking about like.
Look at me. Right now, the Lakers are sitting like 4 or 5, and the Thunder are number 1. So that means in the second round they play each other.
But Hetty, we're Laker fans, right?
Yeah.
But real talk though,
Who would be shocked if the Lakers beat the Thunder though?
I think a lot of people, bro. The number one, they're the number one seed. They have the best record in the league.
Yeah, man. If you're shocked that a team of LeBron and Luka beat you, you just don't know basketball, bro.
If
you're shocked, I'm not saying do you think they're gonna win. Yes,
they need to be.
Win,
They
but,
need
like,
to be in the finals.
I'm gonna give them an out
because of the young.
if they play because they'll still be there right there next year. They'll still win 16. They'll still be competitive, but also if they lose to like the Lakers and the Lakers end up in the finals, then I'm gonna give them that out. They lost to a straight up contender at that point.
Depending on how they lost.
How they lose?
Yeah.
Like if they lose in 6 or 7 to
Oh,
a
of
finals
course.
team, it's like
Yeah,
okay.
of course. But if they get
I see it.
swept,
That's why I wasn't shitting on them from last year. They
Yeah.
lost they lost to 6, but they lost to the NBA Finals team.
Yeah.
Like how
The last year I gave him the pass. This year I'm like, all right, you
Let's
guys.
see Chet's health too, though.
Yeah.
He has to be healthy.
he's back
It's
now.
unfair to judge him, to judge them without their second best
The
player. Bro.
Grizzlies. You said Contenders.
Yeah, because I wouldn't be surprised if I seen them. It depends. Like they have a route to get there,
I would.
depending on who they play.
I real talk would be shocked.
Throughout, I mean, they're one of the best defensive teams in the league.
Jaren
They
Jackson
have
is
John
defensive
Morant,
player.
who's one of, regardless of what kind of year he's having, nobody wants to see John Morant in an NBA playoff series. I can tell you that much. And Jared Jackson is playing his ass off. Bane is a very, very solid third piece. They got size on that team. They're very well coached. I mean, yeah,
Call
I
me
can see that
crazy.
team in the top 4. Bro.
Call me crazy. I think OKC would beat them inside a series.
They absolutely would. There's like 6 teams that would beat them. But I'm saying I went off of it. Of like, yeah, I could see them get the right matchups in the playoffs and get to the West Conference Finals.
Shit, I think the Warriors would beat them in a series.
Because we didn't think that the doghouse Memphis team was going to get to the West Conference Finals either, and they did.
I think the Warriors would beat them in a 7-game series. That's just me. No. Hey, Jimmy Butler in the.
It's going to take a lot more than Brendan Pajminski.
Hey, Jimmy
Well,
Butler in the
honest.
playoffs though.
That is true.
It's him.
That was my thing with the Grizzlies. There's like a lot of teams where I'm like, these guys might be able to beat them, and they're not even in the.
And they have the tallest player in the league.
Yeah.
Zach Edey.
Rockets, I went with Pretenders only because at the end of the day, I think that team's very young and they're just like a fun regular season team.
They're the
right now.
Pretenders for
of
this year,
pretenders,
but
yeah.
they're going to be contenders for
I believe
for all
they were
minute.
the perfect definition of pretender this year. They were literally like
Yeah.
on top of the leaderboards for
Yeah.
2 months.
My issue with the Rockets is I'm not super high on Şengün, but I'm like super high on their second best player.
Jalen
I mean,
Green.
On
on
Ivan, yeah.
Thompson.
Yeah.
Super high on him.
He's the second best player.
Yeah, he's better than Jalen Green. I love listen.
Really?
Jalen Green is an NBA championship piece. I want to make
Yes.
that clear, but he has to be your third guy. He has to be your third
I
guy.
don't think that Jalen Green is a championship piece. I think he's a shot chucker. That's just my
Okay,
thing.
I mean, when your third piece could get you 45 on any given night, that's a good third
I
piece.
think
man.
I think with the Rockets, I think that Rockets need to put together some of that young talent and go get themselves.
With the Rockets, their issue is their best player is not that good. He's not good enough to be the best player
Şengün.
right now. Yes.
Yeah.
But the problem is like if you took out Şengün and put Shai on that Rockets team, that team's in the finals.
I would.
That's the issue.
If I was the,
Well,
Rock,
if you wanna
if
know
I
the
was
truth.
the Rockets, I would see who of the young talent, the 2 guys that they don't like the most, and I would package them together and try to go get themselves an all-star, like an actual bona fide, close to top 10.
Those
player.
guys have to come on the market, Hakeem. They have to, be
Everybody's
available.
always in the market, apparently.
No, because it was legit Luka, and then everything just stopped. It went back to normal.
Yeah, but that's
That
what I
was
would.
stupid. If you
That's
want
what
to
I
choose
would do with the
Mavericks-
Rockets because I see people throw out like superstar potential for.
Potential. I could see the potential. He's not a superstar.
Yeah, like, no, people talk about him like, oh, he's got this potential to be a superstar, and I'm just like,
he doesn't have a lot of holes in his game.
yeah,
He doesn't
The
have
Lakers.
he doesn't have a ton.
the Lakers.
The Lakers are a contender. 'Cause, I mean, the best duo in basketball gets to the NBA playoffs. You're not shocked, bro.
You know what I hate
To me.
about basketball? This is like the definition of casuals.
You're right.
I hate when people talk about teams and like defense. They're like, yeah, well, who's gonna guard LeBron? Oh, and who's LeBron gonna guard? That's not how defense works.
Right.
It's never one-on-one defense, bro. It's like it's about team defense. Like
Matchups.
Denver versus the Lakers. Everybody and their mothers would have probably put money on Hayes guarding Joker. Didn't guard him once all last game. They put Rui on him and they played a defensive scheme around him.
But they rotated Hayes a lot on the weak
That's
side.
how
Yeah.
how the NBA is now, right? It's about like defensive scheme. So
That's how we are because we're small.
yeah, but I'm talking about just in general with the NBA though. Like, there's a lot of different schemes that they play out there. It's just not like, oh, I'm gonna put this guy because now all that happens is they come on the court, they find the weakest defender, and they do the switching, and that's it. You know, it is what it is. I bring that up because ESPN comes out and tells everybody, oh, the Lakers are small, and oh, Luka's not happy in LA, and everybody runs with that, and that's all I see online. They're too small. They're too small. They're too small. Well, that's just not the truth. They're gonna be fine. And we've seen against the Nuggets, they were just fine. So if people bring up that they're too small for them being a pretender, this is not how basketball works.
Also, there's not like big teams in the West.
So I'm trying to say
There
the
aren't any big
only
teams in the West.
dominant big in the West
Jokic.
is Jokic. And
And if you plan on building a team to guard Jokic, you might as well scrap that plan from now because it ain't happening.
there's nobody out there, man.
Although there was rumblings, Dwight might be on the Lakers this year sometime this year. They might sign him or something. I don't know.
Nobody's
There
gonna.
was-
That was the Jokic stopper.
Yeah,
it was.
nobody's gonna stop the
20,
Joker.
the bubble.
No, Dwight stopped the Joker.
Yeah, but
And well, him and JaVale McGee. You gotta be
JaVale,
fair.
that's
some
Yeah.
long
Yeah.
motherfucker. But I'm talking about in general. Nobody's gonna stop the Joker.
Right.
Could
I
Wemby have
promise-
stopped him before he got
No.
no at all?
Joker's just
No, you don't
big.
stop. You don't stop elite
Yeah,
basketball
man.
players.
He's
You
gonna
don't stop.
like even yesterday. I promise you, the next time that the Lakers play Denver, he'll have a 30-point triple double.
Maybe though. Bigs have been struggling against us
Yeah.
for a minute now. Bigs have been.
Man,
we took
if-
Cat completely out of the game in New York. We
If,
took him out of the
yeah,
game.
if
completely.
Luka and LeBron and
Austin
Austin
Reeves
Reeves are playing at the top of their games, they are a match of
And-
hell.
And Rui.
Rui, you gotta put
Yes.
some respect on Rui Hashimoto's fucking
The
name.
two biggest-
Rui Hashimura is an NBA championship piece, bro. He just is.
Two biggest trades, the two biggest things that the Lakers did
DFS.
is they fired Darvin Ham and they hired JJ Redick because the coaching is not even fucking close.
Right.
And they traded D'Angelo Russell for Dorian Finney-Smith because that guy's an actual champion.
Even though Dorian Finney, even though D'Angelo Russell is a better basketball
He's
player.
a better player,
Just fit.
but you
wise.
can't win a championship with D'Angelo Russell on your
Just
team playing major
fit-wise.
major minutes. I truly believe that.
Rui Hashimura, man.
Last few teams, we'll run through them. The Clippers.
Beast.
Yeah, I know.
Strong.
Yeah, I know.
Bull.
Beast.
Bull.
Rotting his life away in Washington.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he was.
The Clippers, I think we all just kind of expect them
The Clippers at this point to me, well, if you want the truth, is just like I watch the Clippers, by the way. Like I'll watch them, even without parlays, because like
Powell's so good.
I mean, you know this. I've always been a fan of James Harden, bro.
Yeah.
I've always been a James Harden defender, and I think he was unfairly treated in his NBA career a lot. And so, like when I get a chance to watch James Harden play at this age, I appreciate it. So I watch it. Well, I know that sounds corny, and it's just the truth, though.
Stop glazing, bro.
Well, I love watching James Harden,
it.
man, play basketball.
like
It's
it.
been a joy for the last 15 years, James.
like
And wallah, James probably doesn't get this a lot, but I appreciate everything he's brought to the
course.
game, and I appreciate everything that he's
No,
done in the
they-
last 15 years.
Are they pretenders or contenders?
They're pretending ass motherfuckers.
Listen, all
But again, Norman Powell having a fucking hell of a year. James Harden still looking like he's 25.
Zubats is having a good year.
Zubac is having a good year. They just don't have enough.
Listen,
talent.
with if Kawhi was
Not a bag of
prime
knees.
Kawhi, not a bag of knees,
they would be contenders.
They would be contenders
They would,
because
they would be better than teams like Memphis.
yeah.
They could beat a team like OKC potentially.
Yeah.
They got the size, they got the defense, they got the shooting.
Who knows what Kawhi Leonard is, man?
If he ever gets super healthy, like if he ever gets like, hey, Kawhi of Toronto is back. He's healthy. He's back. That might be the scariest team in the West.
Yo,
Yeah.
can I ask you a question? How old is Kawhi?
He's
He's
pushing.
probably 32, 33, I assume.
I might think he might. Is he not pushing 35?
He came in the league like what, 2011, 12?
Somebody look that up real quick. Somebody look up how
35, you think so?
I'm pushing like 34, 35.
He's old as Kevin Durant? No, he's not as old as Kevin Durant.
He might be, man. He might be 33. You might be right.
Because I don't think did he play a lot? He might have played a lot in college.
He did.
He's 33.
Yeah,
He's about
33.
to turn 34 this year.
He's getting there.
Oh, yeah, no, man.
June
Come on.
29th.
And that body's like 80 years old.
80.
Yeah. The Mavs.
But again, when he was healthy.
Yeah, no.
I know.
The Mavs. This is.
The Mavs,
I
unfortunately.
believe they are contenders. Yes. It's a good fit. Kyrie and AD.
I could see it. I don't
No,
completely
I-
disagree
you know
with
what
you.
I'm
They can't win an NBA championship. Though.
They can't win an NBA
Yeah,
championship.
they can't.
I would be highly
They could
shocked.
squeeze into a WCF.
Has AD ever gotten out of the first round when he was with the Pelicans?
I think he did one year, didn't he?
think
Did
they-
they
I
don't
beat
remember.
Dame in Portland one year?
I do
They,
not remember.
they did. They got
They
out.
beat
Remember
Portland one
them
year.
getting
Remember
swept by
Rondo?
Golden State?
Rondo in New Orleans.
Yeah,
they
they
beat
got out.
They beat Portland one year.
Yeah,
sure?
Yeah, and they got swept by Golden State.
But the biggest piece was Rondo.
No, man.
Like he was a difference maker. Well, I'm no real shit.
Yeah,
he was a difference maker.
Yeah,
Listen, the
that's what I was
Mavs, man, like, I just, it's hard for me to envision that team being serious. Like everybody talks about. I get the Kyrie, and then you added like the best defender in the league, almost right.
To the best defensive team in the league.
Yeah, but number one, like, I've watched AD. You can't throw the ball into him every time into the playoffs and expect different results.
I think he's adding if AD is healthy in his head, and if AD is healthy in his head, then he's not wrong. Like by definition, they would be contenders. I just don't think AD is gonna be healthy. But if you're gonna throw that caveat, I don't completely disagree.
but even with he's healthy though.
No, if he's healthy, I mean,
You
that's,
got to put
that's
that
a
with
good
everybody,
team.
though. If everybody
Yeah,
is
yeah.
healthy,
Yeah.
like
Yeah, also the Clippers are contenders then. If we're doing healthy, if Kawhi's healthy, they're a contender.
if he's winning,
With Dallas though, like no, Dallas got some Shaquem. It's not just Kyrie.
I know, they got a
It's
lot of
really
pieces.
not. It's a lot of size. It's a lot of rebounding. It's a lot of
I
shooting.
think
They're big.
Luka's.
They have a
I
lot.
think Luka was covering up a lot more than you would think, though. That's just what I think. All of us,
Maybe not.
because all of us. Listen, all of us were shocked to see that team even in the Western Conference Championship.
Luka was
last
hurt this year. Dallas was winning games. Gafford looked like a stud. PJ Washington looked like a fucking
Difference in
stud.
the playoffs, though.
Kyrie looked like a fucking stud. No, they
Like,
got some
how
pieces, bro.
shocked would you be if the Clippers played Mavericks in the first round and beat them?
Without Kawhi, shocked.
Oh, Kawhi's back right now.
Kawhi, the 13 points per game, Kawhi is back. I'm talking about Kawhi Leonard. If this version of Kawhi is back, I'd be kind of shocked, to be honest with you. Like
'Cause
that
they
Dallas
match
team is
up?
a better team.
They match up.
No, that Dallas team is a better team.
No, I know, but I want to be like, holy shit.
It'd be fun to watch, though. We got the injury-prone, used to be superstar.
where's the other injury problem?
We got two superstars that can't get past nothing.
The last
each other.
team that we'll talk about, the Warriors.
I believe they're contenders. Why not?
No, it's a bad team.
Why?
It's a bad team. Team sucks.
You're not giving
They
up
can
any.
be. No, I'm sorry. They can
What,
be.
you'd be
contenders.
shocked if they made a run in the playoffs.
That team, I'd be shocked if they made it into the playoffs. Wallah, like
Yeah, I mean they are like I think they're out
they're
of
like
the play
the 10th,
right now.
11th seed right now.
Yeah.
They suck.
Now
They're
with
bad
Jimmy
team.
Butler, they won their last few games.
They suck.
Now listen,
If we just said Jalen Green isn't your third, then Draymond Green definitely for damn sure can't be your third,
Yeah,
brother.
exactly.
well you got Steph and Jimmy Butler as your 1 and your 2 though.
Team sucks, bro. You don't know what you're gonna get out of Steph nowadays. You might get
No.
42. You might get
12.
real talk.
10.
No, wallah, you might get 4.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
Like
he had,
so,
he had
you
those
don't,
games.
I know you don't know what you're gonna get out of Steph.
It's gonna be fun. I'm excited for playoff
You know, you took
times.
away, one of the greatest shooters ever from him, and he didn't know how to act. That's all.